Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Okay, welcome everybody. Let's take a look at a preview of what I think is coming up this week. Now, this is Sunday as I do this video. It is, let's see, Sunday, February 6th. It's a few hours before the futures market's going to open up. That's right. For those that don't know, the futures market opens up on Sunday night. I'm here in the great state of Texas, so it opens up at 5 o'clock my time. It's about 2 o'clock as I do this video, so 3 hours is going to open up. We're going to do a preview here. I'm going to go through some of the cycles. I might even adjust some of the cycles in this video. For the general public, you're just going to get the S&P 500. I'm not going to show the hourly chart. But for all my premium members that are watching this video, I'm going to cover all the products. I'm going to cover the S&P 500, including the hourly chart. I might even look at some of the shorter time frames if I think it's appropriate. I'll cover gold. I'm going to cover crude oil, natural gas, wheat, oats, live cattle, and feeder cattle. Those will be all the products I'm going to cover. It's going to be a long video for the members. So if you want to jump to a specific product that you're interested in, just look in the description below the video. So let's say you want to go to gold. You'll just see where it says gold. There'll be a link there. You just click on that and the video will jump right to gold. And that's going to be true for crude and all the other products, okay? So let's get started. Let's jump into this video and let's do a preview for the week. So, okay, here we are. This is a daily chart, S&P 500 futures. These are the March 2022 contracts, okay? Looks like this contract's going to roll over here on the 18th, so just be aware of that in about maybe 2 weeks. Yep, it's going to roll over to the next contract, looks like. Or, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay, today is February 4th. At least I think it is. Let me see. Sorry, February 6th. But they're showing the February 4th candlestick, which makes sense because that was Friday right there, okay? All right, so for those that are not familiar with cycle analysis, all right, so before I get to cycle analysis, I know some of you trade the S&P 500 indexes, so you trade the SPY maybe, okay? But this is the futures. So this is the /ES, okay? So what I'm talking about here applies to the spider for the most part, okay? All right. So I'm going to be doing this kind of on the fly, so just hang with me through this video, okay? I'm looking at these cycles. This is a typical cycle. Wherever two cycles come together, that's where we expect the price low to be, and we expect price decline. Now, we can see a big price decline right here that happened about a week and a half ago, okay? And the expected price decline was going to be right here on this cycle going this way. So the future's that way, obviously, and the past is that way, right? So we're going this way into the future, and we expected a cycle low right here. So when was that cycle low? So let me take a look. Let me click on this thing, get it to work. Expected to be February 8th, okay? Since today's the 6th, and Monday's the 7th, we're really expecting the cycle low to be on Monday or Tuesday. Well, it came down pretty hard right here. I said, I think last week when I did the videos, I said, I expect prices to come back up, probably not get above the 50, which it didn't, and either stall, maybe go up a little bit more and then come back down into this, or just stall going sideways into this. Well, it looks like it's coming back down into it, right? That's what it looks like it's happening. We'll just see what happens here. This, to me, guys, looks like that this little run is over, okay? This little run right here is over. These indicators are suggesting that. The long-term MACD looks like it wants to go up. So we could be seeing like this, and then like that, okay? And who knows? Maybe it'll get above the 50 and do one of those. I don't know. Do I think it's going to take out the all-time high? No. At least not anytime soon. And maybe not for a very long time. We'll have to see what goes on as we press into further and further into 2022. Of course, we're always going to evaluate as we go along and look at the probabilities of where I think things are going, okay? But long run, we'll get into that on the monthly and weekly charts, okay? So I expect prices to decline just based on what I'm seeing here, down into the end of the first week of February, maybe even going into the second week, okay? Just based on what I'm looking at here. We'll see. If does this come down? Does it get a little bounce? Does the Big Daddy do one of those? Do we get something like this where it comes down in the middle? I don't know. I don't know yet. This over here is a very high peak. You can see this did not even get above the 350 line on my Big Daddy forecast. So this was not a very strong rebound. Okay, just wasn't. And even this peak is lower than these guys. Certainly lower than that and that. So it's not a very strong rebound right here. So temporarily would not surprise me to see some more price decline over the short term, okay? I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to move these cycles around. I think I'm going to keep them right where they're at because this looks like it is coming right down into this time frame, which I think that one was the 6th. That little one was the 6th. This one is what? The 9th, the 8th. So, okay, it's all right. It's all happening right on time. This little pullback right there is all happening right on time. And then the next one, which I'm going to keep these daily cycles for now because they look like they're pretty decent. March 22nd for the green one, and the shorter one is February 27th, right at the end. Now, you know, I didn't like a lot of my subscribers, my premium members. Some of us follow Slim over on his, either from his website because he has a subscription service, and he has some free content that he puts out on YouTube, like kind of like what you're for the free stuff for the people, general public, like some of you are watching this video now. So I do watch some of his videos. I didn't watch this last week. Maybe I'll watch it later on today. So I don't even know what he said because he's very good at cycle analysis, him and his team. So no, I didn't look at that first and come to this video. I haven't even looked. I saw that he published it. It's on my, you know, I get the, surprisingly Google and YouTube has allowed me to continue to get his notifications and other notifications. I don't know. Unlike my subscribers, they don't let my subscribers see my notifications, at least some of them, because they're so kind-hearted organization. But so I did see it come out on the notification feed on YouTube, but I didn't actually get a chance to watch it because I've been busy living life and doing other stuff. Okay, so after this, so I'm going to look at his analysis after I do this. So it's going to be interesting to see what he said, and I'd be able to compare it to what I'm talking about. Okay, which is always a good thing. Okay, more people doing cycle analysis, I think, the better. Okay. So anyway, this is at the end of February, like the very last day of February. I mean, maybe it's this one. Yeah, that's 318. Is that really 318? Let me look at this. Look at this one. Oh, it's 220. I'm sorry, it's right here. So this is the 227 right here, this little cycle. So we could see some price decline, maybe bump up, then back down, and then in February, it could just decline all the way down into there. Okay, we might get a surprise and it does one of these and get some really strong momentum, goes up. Because, you know, this is suggesting that long-term on the MACD. But remember, this MACD, this is below the zero line. Like, well below. Here's the quad witching way back here, guys. And it barely got below the zero on the MACD. This is a major event. And for it to fully recover and jump back way up over here to all-time highs, I don't see it happening anytime soon, guys. And like I said earlier in this video already, I don't think we're going to get to all-time highs anytime soon. I don't think it may not happen for years. I'm not going to say never again, but this may not happen for months or years before we see this all-time high again. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh, well, we deal with it. Okay? So that's my take on the daily cycles. I think we're going to come down into the first week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever, right here into this cycle low for pricing. We might get a bounce off of that. We'll see what it does on the 50. By the way, the 50 is declining. You see that? That blue line is actually declining. That's the first time in forever and a day that this 50 has been declining. I think probably since the pandemic was the last time it declined. Okay, I'm not even going to go back to it, but it's just been a long time since the 50-day moving average declined. It flattened out back here on quad witching, but it didn't. It didn't decline. Here it's declining. So just looking at the nature and the behavior of the market and the indicators and the pricing tells me a lot. That this event is a significant event, and it's going to be a lot harder for the market to come back and get above the ATH, all-time high. I don't see it happening anytime soon, and maybe not for many, many months or years to come. Okay? All righty, let's go look at the daily. Let's look at, we're going to look at, we're going to do this in order. We're going to jump right up to monthly and work our way back. So here's the monthly. I'm going to switch my drawing set to monthly. I still got this big drawing set, big cycle going on. I don't see any reason to change it because on these kind of time scales, these things don't change very often. For those that want to know, this big old purple is my monthly. It's 78-month cycle. It's a huge cycle. Yeah, there's smaller ones in there, but we're going to stick with this big 78-month cycle, which is 6.5 years, okay? Guys and gals, the market's in trouble. If you want to look at it that way. I look at it as opportunity, up or down. I don't really care. But since people like to think of down as trouble and up is good, I don't think that way. I think money being made going up and money being made going down. I don't give a rat's butt which way it's going. There's opportunity both ways. That's the beauty of options and futures, okay? I trade mostly futures. Lately, for those that really want to know what I'm doing, I'm in fixed income. I've been busy doing other stuff career-wise, so I'm in fixed income, and I haven't had a chance to really do a lot of trading, so my money's sitting in corporate bonds, okay? That's where it's at. And now you know. It doesn't mean I'm not interested in the markets, and I may still do some trading if I get some free time, okay? All right, I'm tied up in some serious contract work for software development for some major oil companies that move oil. Okay, these are transporters of oil. I won't dive too deep because I really can't talk much about it. It's a little bit sensitive because, you know, I'm under agreements to not say too much. That's life. They pay me the big bucks to come in there and do software development, so I've been super busy, so that's what's going on there. All right, so anyway, this price decline is going to continue. Okay? It's going to continue, guys. This is very peaky. Again, I don't have the amplitude percent indicator on here. Some of you may remember that in the past. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the distance from the 50-month, because we're on the monthly chart, the distance from the bottom of this candlestick right there, which is February now, down to this blue line. Is this distance great? Heck yeah, it's great. It's huge. Just look in the past. Let me just clear the screen. Just look. Okay, the distance is like, okay, this is kind of to scale, not really to scale, so it's kind of hard to tell, okay? But trust me when I tell you, this is one of the greatest percentage distances we ever had. There's been one or two times where it's been greater, back, I think, in the 90s. Okay, and that's about it. All right, so this distance from here is a big deal. And why is it a big deal? Because if you look throughout the history, it's always returned. Always returned. Returned and came through on there. And I could go back even further, all the way back to the early 1900s if we looked at the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones Industrial, or even the Dow Jones Transportation, which is the oldest index that we have. They all come back to the 50-month. Okay, well over 100 years going that way, it returns to the 50. So guess what? It's going to return to the 50. From here to here is 2022, guys and gals. From there to there is 2023. This will return to the 50, however which way. As I said before, we could get big flashes. We could get small kind of, medium declines and make its way down through the next year and a half, 2 years, whatever it's going to be. Okay, but this right here tells me bombs away, baby. We're going this way. Okay, I see big indications here on the Big Daddy telling us already it started. This has already started. There's more to come. Does that mean it's going to be straight down? Heck no. You get down, you get some up, we get some more down, we get some up. You know the deal. You know how the market is. Okay? So, if you can properly plan your expirations for either your options or your futures, you can make a lot of money. And for my premium members, this is true for all the products. Okay? When I put out the all products video for the premium members, it's the same scenario. If you can time, it's all about timing. Okay, that's why, see, for a lot of you people out there, a few that come to my channel and troll, and all you do is put some lines up and you shouldn't be charging people money for that, then don't freaking pay for the membership. I mean, you cheap bastard. It's $5.99. And after Google takes $2 out of my backside, it's coffee and sandwich money for a whole month. So give me a freaking break. Go cry me the blues somewhere else, okay? For the rest of the people that see the value, the reason that these videos are really, really good is because psychoanalysis helps you with timing, okay? It helps you with timing. For the real traders out there and swing traders, not just daily intraday, but swing traders and even investors, The reason why cycles are really cool and help out a lot is because it helps you time what contract month you're going to take, or multiple contracts if you can do some type of laddering, okay, and get more sophisticated with your approaches, okay. So anyway, that's why cycle analysis is really important, because you're trying to time the best time, time the best contract expirations, okay. The market's going to do this, period. That's what it's going to do. It doesn't get any simpler. We're going this way. It may be a ragged ride, price-wise, whatever, who cares? On the average, prices are going that way. That's what's going to happen. Now, remember, this is a rising 50 for now. So you can't just think it's going to drop straight down. It doesn't do that. As time goes this way, you have to coordinate two different moving lines, the average with the actual price. Everybody follow me? All you new investors, traders, don't get caught up in thinking the market's just going to do that. This is a moving average, and for now, it's still pointing up on the monthly chart. Don't lose sight of that. That means this line for now is going up. This one may be tracking on the average going down. There may be some ups, there may be some downs, but on the average, it's going down. So you're trying to figure out basically where these two are going to intersect. Okay? I mean, it's not like absolutely important you find out where they intersect, but it's just kind of a point in, okay, it's just going to get kind of deep, but I'm just going to do it. This is finding a point in three-dimensional space. Okay, some of you are probably shaking your head, what the hell is he talking about? Well, believe it or not, the stock market and the marketplace and the futures market is not two-dimensional. It isn't two-dimensional. Okay, X that way and Y axis is this way, right? Everybody remember their basic graphing when you took your math classes? For the younger generation, some of them, I really fear for you guys and gals who don't even learn the basics. Okay, XY graph, guys. Okay, we're basically dealing with prices going along the y-axis, up and down, and price moves from left over here to right along the x-axis, that way. Okay, so most people think this is the marketplace. It's an XY graph. Wrong. And if I get an opportunity, I only talked briefly about this in the past. The stock market, and not just the market, but all marketplaces, are three-dimensional. Okay, they're three-dimensional. Okay, why? Because we live in a three-dimensional friggin' world. Okay, it's three-dimensional. Yes, it is. And I don't have time to dive into all that right now, but we'll dive into it in the future. The marketplace is three-dimensional. Okay, but anyway, I digress. Get ready for the prices to continue to decline on the average. And June 29th, and don't get too caught up in the exact date for the monthly chart. June 29th. This simply says that I believe, on the average, prices will decline into summertime. Okay? I talked about that last August, and I got ridiculed for it left and right. Yeah, the prices are going down. You're wrong. You're wrong. And I said in the future, this is coming. In the winter of 2022, we're going to begin to see price decline and a market crash. I believe it's already started. I believe what market crash has already started. Okay? I believe that back in August. And I talked about it then, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't really care what the trolls say. So that's it. Middle of summer is approximately, we think the market will come down into that. It could happen early in kind of like the middle of spring, late spring, though I'm less inclined to think so. Okay, and go all the way out into the autumn of 2022. And you got to remember, guys, when we talk about crash, it doesn't normally happen all in one day. Though we've seen, if you go, I talked about this before, if you go back to the autumn, winter of 2018, that was a big event. Okay, big event. Go back and look at your charts for late 2018. We're going to get to that. That's where we're headed. It's going to do something kind of like that. We're going to see some big price movements. Okay, where we're going to get into the S&P 500 potentially having circuit breakers. All All right, so that's the deal there. This tells me we're going down. These two are in agreement that we're going down on a very large time scale. This is beginning to roll over. Oh yeah, the market's going down on a monthly chart. It's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be stopped, especially with the dillweed sitting up there in D.C., the selected one, and the Federal Reserve and BlackRock and everything else, and the cheaters, and the massive infiltration into the U.S. agencies and department. Yeah, I know a lot of you don't like politics. Too damn bad. Get over it. Because there's no separating the two. These people manipulate not just free markets, supposedly free markets, they do a hell of a lot more than that. And I'm sure you can tell by my voice, it really pisses me off. Okay, but in any case, expect this price to come down. We'll see if the Federal Reserve has got any cojones, and their little, probably a quarter, point that they're going to put on the lending rate. And let's see if they got any cojones and stick with it. Or are they going to cry, oh, we're doing the damage, we got to reverse it, like they do every time. These people are idiots. They all should be in a dark hole in prison for the rest of their damn lives. All right, moving on to the weekly. Let's switch over to the weekly drawing set. Okay, that was January. This is out in May. Okay. So check that out, guys. January 24th. The weekly predicted January 16th. So within a week, okay, within 1 week, this cycle predicted that we'd have a cycle low right here. And it absolutely nailed it. Came down and touched the 50-week moving average. And if anybody's paying attention, you might notice that all through this entire time, the 50-week moving average has not been touched. Okay, the last time it broke free of it was week of June 29th. Way back in 2020. And what do you know? We predict a monthly cycle low June 29th of 2022. Gee, that's scary. You want to talk about cycles. To the T 2 years later. So this cycle is May 8th. And the monthly cycle is late June. Close enough. This one is way out in August. All right. Looks like we're getting a bounce here on the weekly. I think it's short-lived. I'm just going to say it. I think this bounce on the weekly chart is short-lived. I think the weekly is going to start giving it up. I don't know what's going to do exactly. I think we're going to be doing one of that. Do I think we're going to break out to all-time new highs and go up? No, I do not. Not anytime soon. And maybe for a very, very long time. And if it gets above this 48.08, then I can come on this channel and say how wrong I was. And I'm really sorry you had to pay $5.99 to hear how wrong I was. Barf. Because I'm sure there's at least 10 other YouTube channels out there that are extremely accurate and you always get it right all the time. Not. All right, let's move on. So that's the monthly, the daily, the monthly, the weekly, okay? If you don't know by now where I think things are going, pause the video, go back and look at it again. All right? I'm about to move on to the hourly, okay? Click the join button below the video. You get $5.99. You pay $5.99. I have about, you want to know how many members I got? You guys really want to know? I don't really give a rat's butt, okay? I have about 90 members. So you do the math, okay? And I make about $3.80 a member, okay? Got 90 members. So I think last month I made $300 or $400. That's it. I can't live off of $300 or $400, guys. I'm not rich. I don't make tens of thousands of millions of dollars off of YouTube and Google stiffing it to me and preventing my channel from growing. Okay? I don't. I make a few $100. I was making more, and then they chop the legs out from underneath the channel. Okay? So now you know. That's how much money I make. I put in all this work, and I cover all these products for a chintzy $3.80 per member. You guys are getting invaluable information. I make a few $100 a month. Okay? And that's it. And I absolutely despise Google and YouTube for it because of the wars. They are so anti-business, despite all of their BS on YouTube about, oh, we're going to help the content creators. We're there for you. No, they're not. They're lying asses. They're only there for the ones that will bow down and kiss their backside and be leftist jackwads and do what they want them to do and say the things they want them to say. Like, don't talk about COVID. Don't talk about the leftists and what they do in D.C. And I could go on and on and on. Because we all have to play along to get along with Google. But I won't do it. Okay, premium members, here we go. La-di-da. Let's switch over to the hourly chart. What do I got going on here? I may need to change this up because it's been a week since I really dived into this, however you say that. Let me take a look. Yeah. Let me take a good look at this. Good look. Pretty good there. Really strong right on through there. Super strong above the 50 here for like a good cycle and a good hourly cycle and a half. So these hourly cycles, if you all want to know, they're about 46 hours long. That's a long cycle. I'm just eyeballing if there's a shorter cycle here. There is a shorter cycle in here, I think. We could try to pull off it, but it's really short. It's really a little too short. It's a little too short to really, you don't want to do, let me just, for those that are interested in cycle analysis, you don't ever want to make your cycles really small. Okay? And why? Because then everything lines up. Everything looks good. And that's a big no-no. Okay? It'll give you false indications. You'll start making bad trades. You don't want to do that. You want the biggest movements, okay? Because those are going to be the safest trades and make you the most money. Generally, the smaller the time frame, the less opportunity for money. That's not always true, okay? But on the average, it is. Like, obviously, here was a lot of money to be made in here, and here, and there, and there, right? That little jigsaw or, you know, whipsaw kind of thing. But that doesn't always happen, right? You got this going on, and then this going on. I'm just looking at these. Give me a few more minutes, a few more moments. Look at these cycles. They're okay. There's a little off right here. So this cycle right here in the middle, which is right around 6:15. Is that tonight? What's today? The 6th. Yeah, 6:15 in a few hours would be the middle of this cycle, okay? Looks like price is stalling right in the middle of this cycle. Comes up, stalling. So we'll see if it breaks above that 50-hour moving average. Let me look at what's going on here. About 5:15-ish on February 7th is that hourly cycle low. I'm just looking at some of these indicators here. All right, so just remember here, 5:15 Texas time, I think it's CST. Okay, 5:15. Somewhere you don't need to be so exact. As long as it's within a few hours. Okay, even if it's within 4 hours, that means, you know, I know it's Sunday, but if it was any other trading day, that means anywhere from like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon to like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Okay, you'd be looking for the price to decline down into that. So since this is about 5:15, okay, and we know the market opens up at 5 o'clock, well, that's 2/7. Just remember that's not tonight, but tomorrow night. 5:15 Texas time, okay? That's PM. So it's, for those that do military time, that's 17:15. Okay, I usually run off of military time, but most people don't, so that's why I don't talk about it very often. All right, so that's what that is. 5:15, February 7th. There's so much opportunity here, and just looking at the S&P 500, it's been a lot of movement going on, lots of opportunity. Look at this right here, guys. This what was the exact time of this hourly cycle low here? It was 7:54. Okay, let's call it 8 o'clock on February 3rd. What was that? 2 o'clock. See, it was within 6 hours. Now, these are huge 46-hour cycles. So you know as soon as you get past this mid part of the cycle, which look, it came right down into the mid part of this cycle. You know the chances are pretty decent that you're going to get a price decline. Okay, this one didn't do it, but what did it do? It came up like this in the middle of this cycle. And what did it do? Flatten straight out. Cycle analysis is a beautiful thing, guys. You just have to understand how to read it. When I see this kind of action where it gets to the middle of the cycle and stalls like that, that tells me the next cycle is probably going to be really strong, and it was. If you didn't hear what I just said, you need to go back and just rewind about a minute or two and listen to what I just told you. If you see that price stalls in the middle of a cycle like it did right here, came up out of this cycle low, which was early, came up, stalled right in the middle of this cycle, then tracked sideways, that's usually a pretty good indication that the next cycle is going to be strong. So now I've told you that twice. That's a real key to being extremely profitable in cycle analysis. It also doesn't just work going up, but that same thing works going down. Okay, make a note of it. Make you a lot of money. Okay, we've talked about that. I'm not going to look at the 5-minute chart. This, to me, just looks like there's opportunity here. This is knocking on the 50-hour door. It got a little bit of a rejection here. I'd wait to see what it does Sunday night, Monday. What does it do? Does it stay below the 50? If it does, then as we get past this midpoint of this hourly cycle, which is about 6:15 tonight, Sunday night, then you know coming over here, which is about 5:15 Monday night. So the opening going into Monday night, I would expect prices to decline down on there if it gets rejected tomorrow below the 50-hour. If it gets above it, that's a different story. We reevaluate. All right. Let's move on to crude oil. We're going to go through the whole big old mess. Monthly chart first. This is going to be a long video. All right. Okay, not bad. The monthly came down into there, came up, came down right there. Man, crude oil, absolute monster. You know, I think I was approaching $100 this month. Got up to got up to $93, but yeah, well above $90. When's the next cycle low here? The next cycle low is on the monthly time frame is way out in May of 2023. So those that want to know, that cycle low is way over here. I would expect oil at some point, and I don't know exactly when, to at least start leveling off and kind of returning back to this rising 50 month. But, I don't know if we'll get up to $147 all-time high, but, this is kind of getting away from the 50 month. Okay, and we're getting up into that $100 range, which you can see way back here for all these years, how crude oil gravitated back towards the 50 as it got near $100. So I think that we're going to kind of run into that $100. It's kind of a natural resistance point, $100. Okay, it just looks like a natural resistance point to me for years on end. Of course, we're living in a new, highly corrupt world. Power players, walking hand in hand with Satan, idiots, morons who believe that they should do population control. You know where that's coming out of, the Far East. They think they know best, better than God, boneheads. But in any case, I think as we get up to this $100 area, if we get up there, I think we'll begin to see it kind of waffle around above and below the 100. I don't think it's going to really get back up to these all-time highs. We'll have to wait and see. But now you know where that is. Okay? Right now, there are some warnings here, by the way, that crude oil is going to pull back. There's some warnings here. Some significant warnings going on that crude oil will pull back on the longer term time frame, the monthly time frame. So, we may get up into here. I would expect crude oil at some point to start as we get halfway through there. For those who want to know the halfway point, that's August of 2022. I expect oil prices to stall in late summer of 2022. I expect them to stall, fart around $100 if they get up there, and then eventually make their way down as we get into that time frame over there. Whatever that is, looks like it's kind of summertime of 2023. Okay, so that's the very long way out there. future forecast. Let's look at the weekly. Let me switch to my weekly drawing set. Just take a peek. The weekly, man, I tell you what, the weekly cycles on crude oil look really good. They still look monster mash. See, even, and there's room to go here. On the MACD, there's some room to go up. I see the Big Daddy kind of running out of steam here, guys. 415 is getting kind of up there. 466 back here. For those who want to know what I'm looking at, just look at this number as I move along and look at some of the peaks there and there. Okay, let's do this together. So 466 back on the week of February 8th, 2021. Okay, I'm looking at the Big Daddy here. Over here was 430, and right now today, we were at 415. Okay? So why is that? Why am I looking at that? Because crude oil is getting kind of peakish. Okay? It's not there yet. Remember, the Big Daddy's a forecaster. It's looking way out in the future. So what am I saying? I'm saying that, over the next few months, multiple weeks, okay, I could see oil beginning to slow down, and not saying it won't still go up, but I begin to see this rocket ship beginning to lose its thrust and beginning to taper off. That's what I think is going to happen with crude oil over the long run. Okay, let's dive in a little bit deeper on where does this cycle end. Cycle ends April 17th, 2022. That's what that is. April 17th, the week of April 17th, 2022. Okay, so not too far off from what we saw on the monthly cycle. Okay, what is this one? Yeah, August 2022. And that's button on. Remember I said, August of 2022, I expect on the monthly cycles for prices to stall. So guess what? We could see prices continue to go up. Whatever they do, they may go way up. Whatever they do, and I believe they're going to stall and roll over like that. This is the weekly chart. It's going to be much, it's not going to be as dramatic. Okay, but I believe it's going to get up here and stall and begin to roll over. It may just actually, on the weekly chart, may just kind of look like a flat line, kind of doing that stuff. Okay. So I expect as we approach August of 2022, I expect prices to wherever they're at. They may be way up here. Wherever that, I expect them to begin to stall. They may even come down a little bit into that. Okay. So there you go on the weekly. Daily. All right, what's happening here? Let me just look at this daily cycles for a moment. Yeah. Crude oil looking a little peaky, but not there yet. But we got some warnings here. Do have some warnings. So that's something to be mindful of. Let me look back. I'm just trying to see if there's better. You know what, guys? I'm going to re-pull this daily cycle because to me, it looks like it could use a little adjustment. Let's see what happens. It's a really small cycle. I don't like that. Really small. Yeah, that one still looks, you know what? That's actually not bad. Let me look at this right here. Give me a few moments, guys. You can always fast forward if you hate me doing this. That's fine. I don't really care. Do what you got to do. But I'm just looking here. This looks really good right here. That's pretty decent. That's close enough. That one's obviously bang on. This is bang on. This is a little early. And this one is spot on. Okay, I like this. This is looking really good. This small adjustment to this daily cycle looks good. So let me change this to green, which I use for my daily. We'll give it a little bit more love on the old thickness line. I like a little thick. All right. So where are we at here? February 16th. Okay, well, what do you know? That's kind of where we're at. Okay, so 12 days. 12 calendar days, guys. I expect to see something maybe flatten out and come down a little bit into February 16th, right there. Okay, it may just stall. We'll see. This one's more like March 14th. Those are 18-day cycles, for those that want to know. So these are 18-day cycles. That's what we're looking at. So February 16th, this one I think I said it was 314. Okay, so that's what we got going on the daily. Now, just looking at the indicators here on the daily here, they're not quite peaky, but they're definitely getting there. The MACD looks like it tried to flatten out here, and then got some new life in it. That's that little pinch, and then it's trying to go this way. And the short-term indicators say there's still a little bit of room to go up. So, but that kind of makes sense to me, because 216, 12 calendar days away, whatever number of trading days that is, whatever 10 trading days, however that works out, 8 trading days. Yeah, I can see prices stalling or coming down into that 216, okay? I'm not going to dive into the 5-minute, the hourly chart too much. All right, I can hear some of you saying, why not? Do I have an hourly here? I don't have an hourly. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to do this for every product, but let me... Okay, that's good. So that means I can pull an hourly on this. So let's pull an hourly. Is it worth it? Not all products are worth pulling hourlies on. This one, though, is. I can just look at this chart right here. I don't even have to do any deep dive. I can see there's an hourly cycle. And for those that want to become students of cycle analysis, that's the place you want to get. You want to be able to just bring up the chart, and immediately, if there are good cycles, they'll absolutely leap out at you. Okay? And this one leaps. And I'm just going to give you the dots. It's really obvious. In cycle analysis, we're always concentrating on lows. And there they all are, like clockwork. And you can see back here, there was a change in behavior. And over here, we have a little bit of change in behavior. Okay, you can tell this is not the same as all of that. Okay, you should be able to see that behavior with your naked eye. All right. So that tells me there's a change of behavior over here. Okay. There's definitely a change of behavior here compared to all this. All this rode along to 50. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Okay. What we're going to do now is we want to see this very predictable cycles that we can clearly see here. How do they extend out over this new behavior and going forward? Okay. And by the way, before I dive too deep, the hourly chart looks like it's bombs away. Bombs away. Okay, that's where that's going. We may get a bounce down here, but I think I say long term, and I mean on an hourly basis, it may come down, do a little of that, and it's going to come down some more. I do believe that the crude oil is going to come down. I don't know. I'm just going to throw out a number somewhere in there. That's around $90. Just throwing it out there. There's a good chance crude oil is coming down into there. So we're at 91, 92. I could see it coming down to high 90, meaning 90, 95. When I say high 90, I mean $90 or 90 points, whatever. Okay, it's not dollars, it's points. Okay, it could even come below that into the mid to low 90. Okay, I see that probably happening here. Somewhere in here, we're going to get some kind of price decline. It may get a bouncy bounce first and come out over to there, but whatever. All right, let's take a look at these cycles that are really obvious, right? I mean, talk about market manipulation. My goodness, how pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. It really is. Just pathetic looking at market manipulation. It's clear to me the markets are manipulated. All right, anyway, that's the cycle. I don't even have to spend time. It's just bang on, bang, 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 like an engine firing right on time. And that went on for more than a week and a half, 2 weeks. So the question is, does this cycle extend? And the answer is we don't know yet. We truly don't know whether or not on this hourly cycle, this hourly chart, We don't know whether or not this predictable cycle is continuing, because that's part of cycle analysis. You got to wait and see sometimes, okay? I do see that it's stalled right here in the middle of this cycle, though. That is extremely useful information. And right here, very strong, but there was a small stall going on. Now we're in the middle of this cycle. So guess what we're waiting on? We're waiting on to see what this is going to do. For those that want to know, and I wouldn't put a lot of confidence in this cycle right here. February 7th, 4 a.m. Texas time. February 7th, 4 a.m. Texas time. That's the cycle low right there. Okay? But I'd be very careful, because to me, it's really clear that crude oil's hourly cycle behavior has changed. What is this one? February 8th, about 2 a.m. And remember, don't take these so literal. Don't take these cycles so literal. Give them some breathing room, a few hours on each side. You'll make money. Okay? But in my opinion, because that's what this whole video is about, is strictly my opinion about the marketplace for all these products, I'd be cautious with crude oil right now about trading really short time frames. At least cyclically, until it gives us a little better indication what's going on, okay? But ignoring cycle analysis for a second, because sometimes it's okay to ignore it until you get a good anchor, okay? Looking at the other indicators, I think there might be a little bounce here, but we have to wait to see if it does that. But longer term, on the hourly, which really expands out to the daily, I see crude oil coming down, even if we do get a bounce. Even if it comes down and kind of bounces like that, I think it's going to come down again, because that's what this is saying. I think crude oil is in for a price decline, guys and gals. That's my best take right now on crude oil for the hourly cycle. All right, let's move on to gold. All right. Let me switch over to the monthly. Do I have a monthly chart? I do. Looks like I didn't do any cycles on this, because gold cycles, to be honest with you, they're garbage. I'm going to try to do them, but they really are garbage. Just garbage cycles. Just absolutely garbage. Gold is not moving in a very cyclical pattern. There's some kind of cycle there, but it ain't. You know, it's got a triangle up there. I'll talk about that in a moment. I'll make an effort to pull a cycle here. I'm not liking what I'm seeing on gold as far as cycles go. There are loosely some cycles here. Okay, that's about as good. There, we get a good, nice cycle there. There's one right here. Here. There's one there. There's one there. Okay, it's not horrible. There isn't a very good one there. And this one hasn't played out. So that's as good as it gets for that. Let's see. What color do I use? It's not green. It's not yellow. I don't even remember. What am I using? Blue is weekly. Purple. Yes. Purple is what I use for monthly. Okay, so there's a monthly cycle. Those that really want to know, January 28th was the cycle low. There's one little red candlestick there. I wouldn't put a lot of confidence in that. The next one's way out in October of 2023. Okay, I wouldn't put a lot of credence in these gold cycles in a monthly time frame. They're just garbage. There's no real good solid monthly cycle on gold. I don't care what anybody says. They kind of hook up sometimes, and other times they don't. But let's talk about this triangle, which is way more significant than any monthly cycle nonsense. So I've been looking at this triangle off and on for quite a while on the monthly chart, okay? And it came up into here way back in August of 2020. It got its little decline all the way to the bottom of the triangle, which happened in March of 2021. Okay. Yeah, nice. Came back up, didn't quite touch, but we're going to go ahead and call that good enough. Came back down, touched again, back up, touched, and now we're riding along that top line on the triangle. Okay. So on the monthly time frame, gold at the moment more times than not, what you would see, if it came from below, it would eventually break through to the bottom side. That's the theory behind it, okay? So, but right now it's sitting right, look at one, let's zoom in just a little bit. Look at this. It's touched there, it's touched there. So lately it's been riding right along the top line of this triangle, okay? So for now, we're going to watch it because it could potentially break out. And if it does break out above this triangle, then we completely reevaluate. Okay, gold is, I mean, on the very long time frame, gold is strong, right? Still strong, waffling around inside here. Now, long term, like I said, already said, this is supposed to, in theory, it may do one more and then break. Okay. We'll see if it does that. It doesn't always do that. So that's the deal on that. I would say long term, somewhere over here, somewhere out in this area. Spring all the way till like autumn of 2022, gold at least has a more than a 50% chance, I think, of breaking below this line. So what is that line? 1680. All right. So there you go. That's my take on the monthly. Let's move over to the weekly. Okay, I don't think I have a drawing set here on the weekly. I do not. It is... Well, this weekly chart is horrible. What is going on here? All right, it's a little better. Is there a weekly cycle here? There's something here. That's a little better than a monthly. Let's see if it lines up. It's a little bit rough, but it's pretty good. It's not ideal, but I see enough points to this is working. Yeah. Okay, this is okay. This is respectful. All right, so for that one I usually use blue, the light aqua bluey thing. All right, so this is the weekly. And since I'm here, I'm going to say this is weekly because I noticed I didn't have it saved. Now it's saved, okay? And then for those that want to know on the TOS platform, after you save it like that, you go back to default. Get that out of there. And what you can do is, since you're on default, see the drawing set down here says default, you can remove that. And now that's your default with nothing on it. And if you want to go back, you got your daily, monthly, weekly, click on weekly because you saved it, and there you go. That's how I do it, okay? Makes it nice and clean. You can always go back to default, start fresh. Just make sure whatever you're doing on the default chart, you save it, okay? All right, so what does that bring us? April 17th, okay? But look at this nonsense. Let's ride into 50. It isn't that there isn't money there. There's money to be made in gold because, these moves may not look big, but they're big enough to make some serious money. I like gold. I've traded gold a lot. But lately, this thing on the weekly is just trading sideways. Look at this. Just trading sideways. Trading sideways along the 50. So this tells me I'd be looking at shorter time frames if you want to make any money off of gold. Okay, so there you go. Anyway, that's your weekly cycles. I'm not going to dive too deep. Gold's just tracking sideways here. Not something I would currently trade as a swing trader or as an investor. Let's go to the daily cycle. Get this thing to play nice. Clear out the screen. Looks like I have a daily chart here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Do I like these cycles? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love the cycles. These cycles are sweet. Now, see, this is a cycle. Unlike that monthly garbage, and the weekly is better, but look at these daily cycles. I mean, come on. Baby. Ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Yeah, it probably has something to do with contracts expiring and whatnots, but still, they are there. It's probably How long are these cycles, by the way? That'll probably tell me whether this is... Yeah, see, 30 days, you know. So, you know, don't get caught up in this daily cycle like, oh my gosh, we're going to make a lot of money. No, this has to do with contracts expiring and new contracts starting. That's why it's so cyclical. That's one thing you got to watch out about for cycle analysis. Sometimes for beginners who get into cycle analysis, they'll get tricked into thinking there's money to be made here. But the truth is, what's happening is when the new contract starts, the new contract price is different than the existing contract, and that's why you get these big price movements and these price declines right on time. Bang, 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 bang. Okay? So there isn't always money to be made there like you think there is. Nevertheless, the cycles are still important. March 10th, guys and gals. That's the next daily cycle low. And these cycles are exactly 30 days. Okay, so March 10th from there to there. Gold looks weak, trading right along on this 50-day. Looks weak to me. The indicators are saying we're going up. I don't see any prices going up. That's why you can't always just trade on indicators. You know, as the old timer on the Discord server, okay, y'all know who Red is, and he'll tell you, look at the tape. Well, because he's damn right. Look at the tape. Okay? For those that don't know what that is, Google it. I use DuckDuckGo because I hate Google. I don't care what search engine you look up reading the tape. Okay? That's why you shouldn't always rely on indicators. Because these indicators are they're not worth a damn right now. Gold's doing this. Indicator all you want. Okay? You got to think outside the box. For now, that's where you know the cycles are, what I already mentioned for gold. Okay, I'm not going to dive into the hourly because I can guarantee... Well, okay, fine. We'll look at the hourly. We'll look at the hourly. This friggin' video is going to be so long. There's definitely some cycles here, too, on the hourly. So let me go back to default. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's good enough. There's 3 cycles there that are lining up. So the hourly is a bit shaky once you get past 3 hours going into history. But we'll go with this. Bing, bing, bing. These 3 line up. Can you guys see them? Bang, bang, bang. Again, they're not going to be exactly on, but they're within a few hours, and that's okay. This one's stalled into it. Okay. That one's kind of close, within probably about 4 to 6 hours. So they're okay. It's not hitting every time, but it's okay. So let's look at this. What do we got? February 7th, 8 a.m. Texas time. Okay, that's what that is. The one after that, 9 a.m. February 8th, Texas time. Now you know, go back, pause, you can check it. So that's the cycles. Okay, we're moving on to natural gas. Excuse me. Let's just start right up with the monthly. I probably should have saved that. Let me go back to gold and save it so the next time I come in here, I didn't save the hourly. Let me save it. Get back over to hourly here. Just make sure I know what I'm looking at. Okay, that looks good. Let me save that hourly drawing set. So next time I come in here, you guys got it going on. I don't have to redo it. All right. Back over to natural gas. Let's look at the monthly chart. Okay, that's great. Interesting. Let's pull it. Since I'm doing this, let's do it. Do. Okay, that's pretty good. There's your monthly cycle. Natural gas is not very predictable, and it doesn't really follow cycles very well, but this is as good as it's going to get. Should stand out right now, yeah? Bada bam. That one there was pretty good too. Not much going on there. That one came down into there. This one came down into there. Okay, when I see this kind of thing going on, it usually means contract expirations are affecting the price and they're establishing the cycles. So again, just like gold, don't get too caught up in the cycles on this, but on the monthly chart, because that's just what's happening there is the contract expirations are affecting the price. However, this was spot on. Look at that, guys. Look at the warnings back here about natural gas, and I talked about this at the time. Look at those warnings back there in October. Were they on or were they on? Absolutely nailed it. Okay. Looks like more price decline to come on the monthly. I think this is going to be probably not sustained. This cycle out here is April 2023. Okay, that's what that is. So for those that want to know, all the way out to April of 2023. Okay, meantime, monthly, got a mixed signal going on here. This is saying we're going up, a little more like sideways. This is down. I think natural gas is kind of running out of gas. And track sideways through 2022 maybe. Start coming down a little bit. We'll see what happens. So that's it. If you want to know the monthly cycle analysis, you got it there. Okay, let me save this since I've got it going on here. Save the monthly. I'm putting in the effort, I might as well save the work, right? All right, let's look at the weekly. But we don't want to do it on that. You got to be careful. Go back to default. Let's get rid of this cycle on the default, and let's pull cycles for the weekly. Are there cycles for the weekly? There are cycles, whether or not they are truly cyclically dependable. These are pretty huge cycles, but they are there, which tells me, okay, so there's another thing about cycle analysis that you got to keep an eye out for. If we saw the monthly cycle, right? When you go to a lower time frame, like a weekly, if you have to pull a really long cycle on the lower time frame, you're probably just mimicking the longer time frame. So what am I talking about? This is 39 bars or 39 weeks. So we're just going to do about 10 months, right? Not quite, like 9 months. This is called 9 months. It's about 9 to 10 months. Okay, I don't know what it was on the monthly. Let's go back for a second. And let me switch to the monthly drawing set. What is this? 17, okay. See, 9 goes into, oh no it doesn't. Almost it does. Yeah, 9 goes into 17 almost 2 times. So you got to really be careful of your divisions, and as you may just be duplicating a longer time frame. All right, this is okay. It's different enough to where I'm not gonna worry about it. This cycle is fairly predictable, so we'll keep it, and we'll save this as weekly. Okay, save it as weekly, and there you go. All right, so what do we got going on? So why do I say these cycles are decent? Well, because you can see the price decline there, the price decline into that one. That was a weak cycle, by the way, that one right there. Price declined into this one. It didn't really decline on time in this one. It was a little early, but it did stay flat through that, so that's acceptable. Okay, so, and this is obvious here to there. So the cycles are fairly reliable. Okay, let's look at this one. Way out in September. So late September of 2022, that's your next cycle low on the weekly time frame. Okay, pretty strong bounce here on the weekly. Looks like it wants to do more. That's interesting. So we've got a different story on the monthly than we do on the weekly. Okay, not unusual for natural gas. Natural gas is not as predictable as other products. So there you go. There's your cycles. I think it's not a very clear picture on what this thing's going to do on the weekly versus the monthly. Okay, daily, this is definitely clearer. Looks like I already have a daily chart. Let's see how good it is. I mean, daily cycles. How good are the daily cycles being? So yeah, this is good, not bad, really good there, pretty good there down there, stayed sideways all the way through that. This came in really early but stayed flat, really good there. Okay, it kind of looks like, again, contract expirations affecting price here, but that's okay. February 16th, which has happened in, was it gold or S&P 500? I can't remember. Another product, exact same day. I think it's S&P 500. It might be gold. Same exact date, 2/16. So go back in the video. Remember that. You'd be surprised how many futures from commodities products trade on very similar cycles. So there you go, February 16th. That's that one. So you want those that want to know the next one, March 17th. So these are probably 30-day cycles. Oh, I'm sorry, 21 days. 21-day cycles. Okay. And these are trading days, so they're not calendar days, so remember that. Okay, so that's 3/17. Yeah, 3/17. 2/16 here, 3/17 there for natural gas on the daily chart, okay? So just quickly looking, what do I think natural gas is going to do? I think it's going to try to return back down to this 50, which right now is 415, and it's tracking sideways, a little bit of a bias downward. Yeah, well, yeah, it's flat, just flat, a little bit downward. Looks like natural gas does want to come down. So those that are interested in natural gas, there's already been a lot of downward pricing, so I'd be careful. But looks like there's a little bit more room here, maybe, for price decline down. I could see it getting down to 430, 420, 416 there. We're at 455. Okay, I can see that happening. All right, that's it for natural gas. I'm not going to look at the hourly on this one. We're going to march along to wheat, which is ZW. Man, this video is monster long. I hope I don't run out of battery on my recorder here. All right, where are we at? We're on the daily chart. Does this look good? Yeah, it does look good. Looks good. Okay. Looks like wheat came down and stalled right in the middle of this cycle. That looks like it's basically what it's doing. Okay. The indicators, that, by the way, the cycles look good here for those that want to know. Yes, I'll get to that. February 22nd. Cycle low. 222 on wheat. This one. March 27th. Okay, those are your next two cycle lows. Again, pause video, write it down, make a note, whatever you need to do. Okay, it looks like price is trying to stall in the middle of this cycle right there at 2.7. Where obviously today's 2.6. Came down into the middle of this cycle. Okay, right there. So, looks like there's trying to get a bounce here in wheat. All right, that could happen. Up like that, down like that, and then maybe down. Okay, or it could say, okay, I'm going to be strong all the way out to this one. Again, I'm not saying the price is going to come all the way down here. I'm just drawing where the cycle low happens. All right, so looks like wheat's trying to get a bounce. Okay, just be aware of that cycle there. If it comes up and gets rejected, then this 216 looks real more influential. You follow me? If it stays below the 50, then the 216 is more influential, right? It'll have a stronger, probably stronger impulse. If it gets above the 50 and kind of starts doing some stuff in here, then I'd be looking for the 317 to be more influential, right? Oh, maybe I was wrong. Sorry, 327, my bad. Make that a 2. Okay. Did I get this wrong? 22 was it? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got these dates wrong. It's 22. Okay, 22 and 27. Yeah, 22 and 27. Getting my products messed up. So, again, if price stays below this 50, then I could see 222, February 22nd, having a nice significant impulse downward, okay? If it gets above it and starts farting around up in here, then I think your greater chance of an impulse will be more out there. Again, go look at your weekly and all that other stuff as you know to get a better feel for that. Okay, so that's what's going on there. I'm not going to change this daily cycle. Looks pretty good to me. Let's jump all the way up to the monthly. Looks like I have a monthly here. Is it good? Yeah, pretty solid. Wow. Bang on right there, guys. Was that good or what? My goodness, that cycle was so spot on. Right into January 27th. In other words, January, February. Yeah, okay. Yeah, how about all you trolls now? Your cycle now sucks. You're overcharging people. Yeah, you should be paying us. Had one guy tell me that. Okay, yeah, I'll pay you. Yeah, you want to know what kind of payment I'll give you? Yeah, if that isn't accurate, I don't know what is. That absolutely nailed it. Right there on time. Okay, so the monthly, September, way out in September of 2024. That's next time wheat has this big, huge monthly cycle. Look at these cycles in wheat. They're absolutely monstrous. My goodness, they're like years long. 32 months cycles for wheat. Dang. So let's see. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 years and 2 months. My math right? Yeah, 6 times 5. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be 2.5 years. So was that 2 years, 8 months? Let's see. 24 months is 2 years. And what did I say these were? Get my math right here eventually. 32. Yeah. So 2 years and 8 months. So those are the cycles. 2 years, 8 month cycles. Okay. So that's a pretty long cycle. Looks like there's some warnings going on here for wheat, guys. Got some warnings going on. Expect wheat to decline. Wheat is going to decline. That's what it's going to do. Monthly is what it says. These cycles look pretty good right here. I'm not going to mess with them. Let's go on to the weekly. Weekly for wheat skis. February 13th. Wow. We're basically right on time because today is the 6th or 7th. Wow, that's pretty good. Yep. Not bad. Maybe a little early, but that was pretty good right there. And then it only got a little bounce and came down again. Almost touching that 50 week. Nice. Okay, so that's right there on February 7th. Okay, that one's basically we're right on top of it. So that cycle's pretty much either already come to an end or is about to come to an end. The next one is June 5th, 2022. Again, June 5th. The week of June 5th, whatever that is. Okay, that's what that one is right there. Looking at the indicators, long term on the weekly, it looks like the price wants to go down, and it's not done. Wow, that is. We'll see what it does. Does it just do one of these and then go back up? Does it break below? We'll have to wait and see. Big Daddy says we're going down some more. We'll have to wait to see. Does the wheat's been staying above this 50? We'll have to see. Does it break down below? I think it will. I don't know if it's going to happen right away, but I think it's going to happen. This weekly cycle looks... we may make an adjustment. I'm going to wait. That's actually, yeah, maybe not, because this one here is in play. So I'm going to wait to see what happens as we come up into this, out of this cycle. What happens? Does it continue down? Do we get a new anchor? Do we get something different going on? We'll have to wait to see. Right now, I'm not going to touch the cycle. Okay. The daily. Looks, wow, right in the middle of that cycle, huh? Okay. So we could there could be an interlacing cycle going on here that's starting to look like it might trying to get developed. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about this low right here and this low right here. That they're perfectly interlaced exactly at the middle of a cycle. Very common. So that would mean that there'd be another cycle in here kind of like that. Okay, it could be a small cycle coming into play there. Looks like butt crack, doesn't it? Butt crack! But yeah, but. So it's possible. possible there's a cycle right here that's interlaced here. Okay, some would try to draw a cycle within here, kind of like that. I don't like that at all. It's not really, because this is probably an odd number. Yeah, 23. So I just see an interlaced cycle possibly being developed here. So we'll keep an eye on that there's possibly a cycle almost in the middle of these, kind of like that. So as we move forward, we'll keep an eye on that. What does that mean? That means this next cycle may not end right there, and instead the bigger pulse may be right there. All right. So we'll keep it on there for now. Why not? That's my take on the daily cycle. Be on the lookout for the potential for either this and this kind of stuff going on, where you get two big low points. So this one ends about February 22nd, whereas this one ends March 3rd. Okay, so that's an area we'd be keeping a close eye on, okay, through March 3rd or 2nd, whatever, that area for wheat. In fact, when I see this kind of thing going on where you got two potential cycles overlapping or interlacing each other, and they're still fairly close in date, oh yeah, man, the chances for price decline are even greater. Okay, so keep an eye on that. That time zone right in there for wheat. Like if this gets a bounce, whatever, or even if it continues to decline, this area in here looks weak to me. All right. That's it for the wheat. We're going to go to oats. We're trying to get to the end of this video that's now over an hour and nearly 20 minutes long. Jeez. All right. We're looking at wheat. I'm not even going to get into the cycles of, oats. You know, maybe I will, because maybe something's happening here with oats. Let me look at the monthly first. Oats made a strong rebound. Look at that. My goodness. Bing, bang. Wow. I made some pretty decent money on oats back over here. One of my premium members who doesn't like me talking about politics, okay, whatever, but I know they made some good money on oats too, so I'm happy to hear that. We may not agree on politics and the direction of what America should go in, but I'm glad to hear we got premium members making good money on some of the cycle analysis. I hope it continues. The politics, deal with it. Or not, your choice. All right. I'm not going to mess with this because I don't really... Oats' monthly cycle is horrible. Okay, I don't really give it a lot of credence. December, if you want to know, way out there, December 2022. Okay. Oats looks like it's pretty strong right now. Nice little rebound going on here. That's still pointing down there. But Big Daddy says it's going to go up. The MACD says we're not done with this. Really long term, I think oats is going to crash and burn. I still think that's going to happen. Just not right now. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that. We're going to go to the weekly. Is there a weekly drawing set? There is. And it's a little bit more consistent. Yeah, nice. Okay, so this is a little more reliable cycle. May 15th, okay? That's this one right here. Yeah, that's probably a fairly predictable cycle low. As oats, if I called it wheat, I'm sorry, I meant to say oats. Wow, this thing is just Monstersville. Could take out the all-time new high, maybe. We'll see if it gets up there, wherever that is, way up in there. Could take it out, and then eventually I see it coming back down here. Okay, so again, that is way out here. March 9th, March 16th, right around somewhere in the middle of March. Okay, I see a price decline happening. So a nice bouncy, then maybe a track sideways, whatever it's going to do. I think we will get a price decline coming into late spring, summertime. And that price decline could start soon and start making its way down into there. You follow me? I think this is going to be short-lived. We're so far above that zero line, it's going to come back down to it. I still think there's even more huge fortunes to be made on oats. I think that's coming. Okay. Let's look at the daily. The weekly looks good. I'm not going to change it. daily. It's a little bit off, but it's not huge off. That's garbage there. This was early. It tried to come back down again. It's a loosely defined daily cycle on oats. March 2nd. That's that one. 3-2. Okay, so if you're looking for the cycle low. But you know, even for the premium member that you made good money in oats, don't, and I know you know this already, don't get married to a product. If the time for oats is come and gone, just let it go. You can trade other things. You can trade crude. I know you know this. So just want to give a friendly reminder, don't get married to a product. Once you made your money, if it isn't going in the direction you like it, just don't trade it. If you want to trade it long, okay, but whatever. You know, I think trading it long should have happened back here, not now. Getting too close to the middle of the cycle to be trading long, in my opinion, for swing trades. All right, I think this cycle's fine. I mean, it's maybe not. It's hard to tell with oats, but I'll stick with this cycle for now. Oats looks pretty strong, though there's some signal there that it looks like the price decline could have happened. Though I'm cognizant we just came out of this low, so possible false flag, false warnings. We're not getting any over here, so I'd be a little cautious about anything pulling back. Temporarily, oats looks pretty strong. Okay. So I wouldn't trade oats personally for me right now. I would have traded it back here. Like I said, I haven't been trading, but if I was, I would have traded it there the first few days right here and made some serious money. There are just other products right now that look a little bit better to me than oats. Oats is a little bit too close to the middle of the cycle for me to be trading it, as it looks like it's going to flatten out. And then maybe it comes down into that. We'll see. All right. I'm not changing those cycles. They look pretty good. We're going on to live cattle. 2 more products to go. Pray for me. My goodness, like a marathon. Hour and a half into this video. All right, we're looking for, let's start with the monthly chart for the live cattle. Let me get this to come out here. Wow. Live cattle on fire. 330, for those that want to know, that's a cycle low right there. March 30th, cycle low for live cattle. And they're, okay. Yep, that's it right there. Live cattle looks very peaky to me. I mean, it just looks really peaky. So for those that follow cattle, stick with me on this. I want you to look at this number right here. It's my Big Daddy forecast number. And we're going to go along on some key spots and see what the numbers were. Okay, and we're going to compare it to today. All right, so let's start back here. Way back in April, this is monthly. Way back in April of 2017, you can see that the Big Daddy was at 353. Okay, we're going to use that as a reference. And then on February of 2019, it was 375. And then in December of 2020, it was 356. Where's it at today? It's at 413. 413. So guess what? Live cattle futures on a monthly chart are the highest they've been in years for the Big Daddy. Okay? You want to pay attention to that because I don't think it's going to last. That's the 50 month. Okay. Could see some price declines coming into March, though it could play out way out over here, February of 2023. Remember, these are very long time frames. This is March. Sorry about that, 3 is kind of ugly. March of 2022. This is February of 2023. Okay, almost a full year apart, right? So very large time frames here. Monthly chart. Be aware that live cattle looks very, very elevated. And I can see price decline happening on a monthly time frame in a not too distant future. For right now, it looks strong, but I'd be cautious on the monthly time frame. Okay, those cycles look pretty good, so I'm going to keep them. Let's look at the weekly. I'll change the drawing set to weekly. Let's squish this up just a little bit. 313. Is it good? Yeah, still looks good to me until it says otherwise. Same thing as the monthly. Remember we said 320? Well, this is 313. So guys and gals that are following the cattle futures, live cattle, okay, somewhere in the middle of March looks a little suspect. Price decline going in the middle of March, guys and gals. Be aware of it. Still, for now, though, price look like they want to continue to go up. Okay, I'd be very cautious and be mindful for the month of March for price decline. These cycles look okay for me for now, so I'm not going to change them. Daily. Switch over to the daily drawing set. Wow, this is an awful big drawing. Awful big cycle. Wow. This daily cycle is just not very good. It's very sporadic. The weekly and monthly cycles are better. So this is a bit sketchy. But I do notice it kind of stalled in the middle here. So that's good. It's done that several times. So we can use that too. Man, live cattle just looks very strong. But we got some warnings going on here, guys. Big Daddy is warning us of an imminent pullback in pricing for live cattle. Makes sense to me. The weekly, monthly chart are showing it. The daily's beginning to give us warnings. Okay, expect price pullbacks. We saw it happen here after this big ol' breakout and gap up. Okay. So it doesn't mean we can't have a breakout or a gap up and then the price decline. That's what it did back here. Right? All right, so daily, what is this cycle? February 24th. Okay. In the middle of this cycle is April 4th. All right. Not really sure I like the daily cycles. The weekly cycles, monthly cycles look more predictable to me. But if you want to know what that daily cycle is, that's what it is. Okay, right around February 24th. At the moment, I'm not really too confident in this cycle. But be mindful. Could see a price decline coming in there. Okay. There are some warnings of pullback on the daily chart. Keep that in mind. All right, to the last product. I made it. My goodness. To the feeder cattle. Boy, oh boy. I'm glad I don't have to do this very often. Monthly. Let's switch over to the monthly time frame. Do I like the cycle? Bit sketchy there, good there, good there. Yeah, okay, it still looks good. May 29th on the monthly cycle. So different than feeder. Different than live cattle, different time frames. May 29th on the monthly. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, I don't have much more to say than that. That's just kind of tracking sideways and doing its thing. I see a bit of a triangle happening here. Okay. Interesting. Might keep an eye on that. Okay, since I'm here, I'm going to draw this right now because I love you guys all so much. We're going to draw this loosely looking triangle. It isn't much, but it's there. That looks not like very good. There's not a whole lot going on here. Maybe we don't have a triangle. Got a channel going on maybe? Okay, that didn't work. Something going on here. Something's catching my eye here. It's not a triangle yet because we need another touch down here. Okay, we'll keep it. There's a channel or something's developing here. Could turn into a triangle. For now, it looks like channels, but I'm just looking at the nature of this pricing. Now this looks more and more like there will be a price decline into summertime. That's at May 31. Okay, and just looking at the behavior of this channel, I think we're going to get a price decline. Okay, there you go on that. I've only said okay about 1,000,000 times in this video. All right, let's go on to the weekly. Yeah, looks okay for now. It's not super well defined, but it's okay. Little something there. Not much, but it did come down into it. Yeah, okay, actually it did come down into there. A little early. All right, so what is this weekly time frame? What is the weekly time frame? May 8th. May 8th. Okay. Makes sense. Lines up with the monthly. All right, so beware of that. That's the time frame right there. Right now it's above the 50 weeks, staying above it. Big Daddy says we're still staying above it for a while. So is the SMI. Okay. Let's move on to the daily. Wow. That daily spot on or what? Bam. Wow. Okay. March 7th. Next daily low. For the feeder cattle. March 7th. So there you go. For right now, looks a little peaky on the Big Daddy, like it's trying to suggest it's going to come down and touch this 50. That might happen. But March 7th looks like the next daily cycle low. And I have officially finished this marathon of a video where I covered monthly, weekly, daily, and some of the products hourly. My goodness. Charge you all $50 a month. And that is that. Premium members, don't forget the links to all the futures products that you might want to go to directly are in the description below this video. You should just click on it and you don't have to listen to me say okay 1 billion times. Talk to you all real soon again next time.